Dream into a reality is no childish vision. A number of organizations are working on implementing open access. Creative Commons offers licenses that let the rights holder define exactly how freely a work may be used. The Scholarly Publishing and Academic Resources Coalition, called SPARC, promotes open access and tries to reduce the financial pressures on libraries. The Sherpa Romeo project provides information about which of the commercial publishers allow pre- or post-prints. It also shows how to develop additional open access to documents.
Ja, es gibt verschiedene Wege zum Open Access. Ich bin mir nicht 100% sicher, glaube aber, dass Jean-Claude Guidot die sogenannte
There are different ways to achieve open access. I'm not certain, but I think it was Jean-Claude Guidon who invented the system of color coding. The Green Road, or so-called self-archiving, means that the scholar himself provides access to his work via the internet. On the one hand, personal websites are an option, and on the other hand, there are institutional repositories. These repositories can be located at universities or at scholarly institutions, such as associations. This is called the Green Road to open access, and it is defined mostly by the fact that scholars make their work accessible by themselves. This also means that authors decide what and when they want to post on the net. Only the author determines what content gets published. By contrast, there is also the Golden Road, as Jean-Claude Guidon called it. Golden Road refers to open access journals. They differ from the Green Road in that they use the same criteria and quality controls as conventional scholarly journals, but their business plan is different. The reader of the journal doesn't pay the cost of publishing, the costs are covered in other ways.
Als Argument benutzte Form ist, dass der Autor zu bezahlen hat für die Aufwände, die dabei entstehen. Peter Suber hat in seinen
Peter Suber once declared in his open access newsletter, I think it was in February of 2006, that authors really have to pay for the full cost in fewer than 50% of the open access journals. Frequently, institutions, associations or communities pay part or all of the costs.
Oder Communities tragen.
Why are there still so many scholars who do not take the advantage of the opportunity to publish their documents under open access guidelines?
The problem is that it really takes some effort to take a Green Road publication, find where to load it into a repository, and to do that. So for Green Road, there is an effort barrier. For Golden Road, one of the barriers is the cost. Do you have the funds to do that publication?
Scholars typically, and this again is a reality, do not care so much about abstract visibility of their work, but about how publication could influence their career, at least until they have obtained tenure. And until that moment, at least, they will publish in any environment that would serve their career interest.
In Iran, we have learned recently that scholars who publish in high impact factor journals get a significant increase in their salaries. This really gives authors an incentive not to publish in open access journals where they might get read more, but to publish in often very expensive but very highly rated journals where they get personal benefit.
Their deans and head of departments may be part of non-open access editorial boards. And then again, you think twice before you publish in a competing open access environment, which your superiors would regard as hostile.
There are various arguments against open access, many of which stem from misunderstanding or financial self-interest. Clearly, open access is needed to enable scholars to work more efficiently and effectively. Considering what has been achieved so far, the dream of making scholarly information freely available worldwide seems realistic.
If a majority, or at least a very large part of the scientific community, realizes that change needs to happen, then change will happen. And then the entire way in which we do science will change, and then open access is just a consequence of that change.
I think the only people who can be against or still are against open access are those, especially publishers or some content producers who don't understand the economic future.
And this is general law. If more the knowledge is freely available, the more it is used. The more it is used, the higher is the chance for innovation, and the higher is the risk for a flourishing economy, and of course for the development of science itself. So the freer information is, the more it can be used, and the more it's advantageous for everybody. That's the main claim.
Everybody should know what it means to publish in the open access domain. So there's no loss of quality, there's no loss of control, and no loss of rights, not necessarily loss of rights.
I think we really have a history where sharing the culture is a part of developing the personality. And I feel that people can support open access because it is a part of this European culture also.
Let us open the door to free scholarship, research and education. Let us enable open access. Open access.